Okay, so welcome and good morning. We're here bright and early to kick off the 2024 annual event for VETS. So both Azalea and myself are very pleased to be hosting you, and thank you for coming. We've got a very fantastic lineup of speakers today, and hope you have a great day, and I don't know, maybe it's been a while since you saw each other, sort of thing, so. But I think what we'd like to do is start off by just going through some of the things that we've done so far in the last year, which went by super quickly, by the way, and also some things that we can look forward to next year. And also I'll talk about a little bit about some of the challenges that VETS has and maybe also ways in which we'd like community feedback and for you to potentially get involved in some of the things that we're working on. Okay, so just over the highlights, one of the things that happened this year was that the VETS Aligned projects kicked off. So these were projects that were funded as part of an EPSRC and DSTL initiative, and VETS was successful in getting 3 different projects. We've got a session in the afternoon that talks about where the investigators from these projects will tell us about what's happened so far, and also some of their plans for what's coming up. But yeah, so there were 3 projects, and they were all sort of substantial projects worth about £1 million. One thing that you'll kind of maybe think about here is, what about sort of the smaller grants? So we're still working on that as we speak, but the funding model at the moment is that there will be sort of calls that come out. Hopefully there'll be another call at some point, we don't know, but the model is that EPSRC are looking to fund bigger projects rather than smaller seed projects that were in effect when Philippa was in charge of VETS. But we're working hard to try to bring that back, is all I can say at this point. Okay, but yeah, you'll hear about these projects in the afternoon. One other thing we've done this year, last year, is we've started a summer school series. So we had a summer school at the University of Surrey last year over the summer, obviously, and there were a number of colleagues that came along and presented tutorials, half-day tutorials, ranging from algebraic semantics up to neural network verification, and also sort of the infer tool and so forth. There is a sort of summer school being planned for this year as well. So at some point, we will sort of ask you for your input as to what kinds of tutorials you might want to run for this year's summer school. Azalea will talk about that. Other things we've done is supported various community building activities, we can call this, if you like, workshops that have been running for a while. They paused over COVID, obviously, but they have sort of resprung, and the community sort of getting back together. There was a meeting held at Bristol that VETS helped support, which was the SREPLs community. The S has been dropped and it's been replaced by FUN. But yeah, it's sort of FUN in the afternoon, which is functional programmers and the SREPLs community coming together. And there is another event, but again, Azalea will talk more about that. But just one thing I could say is, if you are planning sort of workshops or little events like this, please do sort of let us know, and we can look into how we might be able to support this through VETS. But yeah, if you let us know, then we can say what we can do and what we can't do as well. The other thing we've done is updated our webpage. So there are a number of things that have been added, including the list of projects and videos, annual reports, and so forth. I mean, these were all there when Philippa was in charge, but we're trying to sort of organize it in the way that Azalea and I see things. There's also sort of a Twitter feed and a Zulip which is regularly updated, and please do follow along if you're interested in that kind of thing. It is going through another redesign, so we thought that compared to the other research institutes, the VETS one was looking a little bit unprofessional, so we've sort of asked for a company to come along and design a slightly better thing. Hopefully you think it's better, but yeah, this is sort of being developed at the moment, and hopefully we'll launch it over the summer. And finally, I can say that we have an advisory board and new members that have been joining as well. So Raad and Brad Martin from DARPA have both joined, and they're all sort of helping us focus our minds on what's important for vets, and they've put in a lot of effort into the problem book, which Azalea will talk about as well. But yeah, that's all I want to say from my perspective. I'll hand over to Azalea.
Some things that we did in the last year of VETS, now entering the second year of VETS, which we already have done. We are a little behind this year, so I want to talk about the things that we're planning for this year and the things that we will need help from you. So one of the things, as Brijesh mentioned, one of the missions of the new iteration of VETS was this problem book that NCSC and us were very keen on. Specifically, the problem book is meant to be a non-exhaustive repository of key verification problems and challenges, and we're hoping to use this problem book to steer the focus of the members of the community, that is yourself, to hopefully work on these problems that we deem to be of national strategic importance. But also, we're hoping that this will help you, for instance, in your funding applications. If you aim to work on one of these problems, and they tend to align with the strategic areas that we have identified in the VETS problem book, you can say, well, give me money because VETS says so, and hopefully that will carry some cachet. Specifically, this problem book, as Brijesh said, was, thank you, I need to be in the shot, was compiled together with lots of review from members of our advisory board, and that advisory board that Brijesh flashed a minute ago comprises members of not just academics, but also our colleagues in the industry, our colleagues in the government, for instance, the STL, NCSC, and also people in funding agency. For instance, we had people from EPSRC there. So I think that this will definitely, hopefully, be helpful come funding time. So not to give you too many details, but if you're curious, you can actually find our problem book. Our first iteration, I'm delighted to announce that it is online. So that's the webpage for it. If you scan that QR code, please go have a look. But in a nutshell, we have identified 3 dimensions along which we believe verification research can be conducted. These are, for instance, the ease of verification technologies, how easy are they to use versus how strong are the guarantees they provide. The compute stack, many of you in the room already know that, from very low-level hardware and logical gates all the way to top-level applications. And finally, a new thing we've identified is this verification technology readiness levels. So starting from ground-up foundational research all the way to technologies and tools that can be deployed in the industry and they're industry ready. The other thing we have done in this problem book, we have identified 6 themes, 6 main themes, along which we think most of the verification research in the UK is carried out. Again, non-exhaustive. We have tried to keep it as general as possible. I'm not going to go to the details of the themes, but what we would really like from you, as I said, this was only the first draft. It's a live document. It will be updated and revised as per your feedback. So if you have any feedback for us for that problem book, please let us know, and that's our contact email. So the next thing I want to talk about is the upcoming events. The one we are excited about most is the summer school. Of course, we're biased. The VET Summer School, the second iteration. Thanks to our colleagues, we will be hosting it at the University of Bristol this year. And it's a fantastic opportunity for PhD students and postdocs. So if you're in the audience, you're a PhD student, you're a postdoc, you think, should I come? The answer is a resounding yes, please do. We want to see as many of you there as possible. Of course, the space is limited, so you will have to apply for the places, and it can be competitive because we will provide you with a travel scholarship, as well as room and partial board. And also, last year we had a fantastic lineup of speakers. It went down really well, as Brijesh said. The feedback that we received from our students was a resounding success. But this year, instead of us pestering you and twisting your arms into giving tutorials, we're asking that you pitch us. So if you have an idea for a tutorial, please just contact us and tell us if you want to give a tutorial. It could be 90 minutes, it could be 3 hours, up to you. And it doesn't have to be a single speaker. If you and a colleague or you and one of your postdocs would like to deliver a tutorial, please also let us know. Again, you can scan that QR code or go to that URL over there. It's a very simple Google form. We just need your personal information, a title, and an abstract of the tutorial that you want to give, and that's all there is. Just remember that this is an opportunity for the students and postdocs to learn from the best and the brightest in the country, so it's good for you, but it's also good for you because it will give you an opportunity to tap into the potential of talents that is in the UK in terms of PhD students and postdocs. So please do volunteer to give a talk. Other upcoming events, there is the SREPL's 15 Kent Concurrency Workshop in July. Don't worry, it's after POPL, so you can all come there and talk about what you have worked on POPL, for instance, at SREPL's. If you haven't already registered, please do so. That's the link. And I believe that VeTSS also sponsored this partially. We have been very generous this year, if I may say so myself. And lastly, but not least, the big specification seminar at the Isaac Newton Institute in October. It's a fantastic series of talks and events and discussions. It's a month-long, organized with, by people such as Philippa Gardner, Peter Sewell, and others. So I believe it's invitation only, but if you're interested, no, it's not also.
So there's, the second week is a public workshop, so you can come to that. And the rest is probably invitation only, but if you pester, that might be enough. We will be doing in the fourth week something to do with US security and secure and measurable software. So that might be interesting to visit.
Okay, thanks, Philippa. So yeah, more information on the website. So if it wasn't already on your radar, please check it out. Finally, keep in touch with us. VeTSS is an organization for the community, hopefully by the community. We'd like to hear from you, your feedback on the problem book. Don't worry, keep pestering us about things if you want money. We have currently exhausted our annual coffer. We have given out a lot of money to Women in Logic, to SREPLs, but in general, we might have some excess money left over for sponsorships, small events, and so on. Get in touch with us. And as Brijesh said, our website is currently undergoing a revamp. You can find us on Twitter. We are basically pretending X never happened and Twitter is still in its good old days. That's why it says Twitter. There's our Zulip community. If you're interested, please contact, again, VeTSS, people such as Teresa, to join Zulip. And finally, that's our email address.